Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for game number 2, or the second series of day 4 here of the Iberian League, and it's going to be between EC4 and Infusion Gaming Esports. Now, EC4 came from a win yesterday against We Them Bots, a team that we just saw, and they look pretty impressive, but they're facing off Infusion Gaming now. Also, my name is Nelson AC Silva. Joining me, Max Formal von Newman. How you doing, dude?
I'm feeling pretty good. I've recovered from, the after effects of a Weed and Boss game. I'm now settled in. I'm kind of glad we got, the craziness out of the way early. And now I do expect we'll see more traditional Rocket League. But then looking ahead, it's Infusion, and Infusion has been kind of lost in Struggle Town recently, and EC4 has been a team that's kind of been blitzing straight on through it. So I'm a little nervous for Infusion right now. I think they're definitely going to be in a very, very tough matchup, but EC4, they haven't looked unbreakable. They have shown signs of weakness, perhaps little bits of consistency issues. However, I feel like XYZ has been such a standout player. So overall, I am excited because I get to see XYZ play yet again, and he has just been so impressive to me so far.
Absolutely. So we're gonna have to see EC4 face up against Infusion Gaming Esports. I do believe the players are ready to go. It could be wrong though, but series number 2 is about to start. I think this was a series that we both predicted EC4 to defeat Infusion Gaming 3-0.
Yes, absolutely. Unfortunately for Infusion, I haven't seen this team ever bounce back mentally from when things start to go south. And EC4 is a fast team. They're a team that likes to score early. They're gonna set up a very fast tempo. And if Infusion starts to fall behind, they don't really seem to me like a team that's going to be able to drag themselves back up and stay competitive yet again. Now, I'm more than happy to be proven wrong. I'm just pretty much going by what I've seen before. Maybe today is different. EC4, they did drop a game, I believe, to We Them Bots yesterday. So, yeah, anything can happen. But We Them Bots is a lot faster than Infusion, at times a lot more consistent. And we've seen what that offense can do. We haven't seen that from Infusion yet. So this is going to be a big ask for them to take even one game, let alone this series.
Absolutely. So we're going to head into the pitch where we have EC4 and Infusion Gaming Esports ready to play. Pros is that is coming up, and we're going to go straight into the game. And here we go. Game number 1, ready to roll with EC4 in the blue side, while Infusion Gaming Esports are on the red side or the orange side of the pitch. The ball is kicked off, and already Infusion having to play defensive.
Yeah, it looked to be a very good kickoff right out of the gates right there for EC4, but they are still actually putting that pressure on right now. I thought we were going to see that counterattack. XYZ, though, able to get the flick over the top, and the second touch will find the back of the net. And it didn't take long for the star of EC4 to find that first goal, yet here it is, setting himself up, beating the defense, and making it a 1-0 scoreline.
Yeah, he had a double commit there from the side of Infusion Gaming Esports to try to collect the ball from XYZ. He just flicked it over the two members, trying to defend it and trying to pinch it all the way over to the side of EC4, but it just allowed XYZ to play them like a fiddle. Now, Karsten bounces off the backboard, tries for the solo play, doesn't quite get it in place. Own goal! Okay, well, not good.
All right.
Not good at all.
No, XYZ just completely gets Peterburn out of the play. Karsten was actually the one who got that touch, and Chili just unable to recover. So it was sort of that stealthy touch at the end, but really the highlight for me was XYZ just completely yeeting Peterburn out of existence almost. So a good setup and a quick 2-0 lead, and it's just going to get worse before it gets better. Hadri, one of the players with those consistency issues that we saw yesterday, granted, I think a lot of it had to do with some ping difficulties, some internet issues. Yes. He's also getting shots on target right now, so he's looking a little bit better. EC4, they're just showing no mercy in this one.
None at all. I mean, they've been on the side of Infusion Gaming Esports for the well part of this game. A great goal coming in from Johnny Souza, who just touches it for the steal it from Peterburn, who single-handedly led the ball all the way into the goal of EC4.
I mean, XYZ was kind of there, sort of. Maybe you can make the argument he needed to tap that one, but really that was a Peterburn goal. He was the one who got that flick over Hadri and created that opportunity. So I like that, a good little solo play to get, this Infusion team back into it, but down 2-1. I sometimes worry how this team plays from behind. They're behind right now. I like that goal. Hopefully they can keep similar plays like that moving forward.
But look at the space they're giving EC4 to set up the play. They just have Hadri and XYZ centered in their side of the field with no bumps, nothing really happening. And EC4 just have the opportunity to do whatever they want, whatever play they want to go for it. They have the opening to do it because nobody on Infusion Gaming Esports side is really positioned to defend anyone.
Yeah, Johnny, he made a play for that corner boost, as you saw right there, and was trying to recover, but found himself kind of caught in no man's land and wasn't able to react fast enough to make that save. Just the plays coming from EC4 too quick, as we saw a nice little demo off that kickoff right there. But even off of a 3v2 power play, we're seeing a bit of a struggle for this Infusion side to mount any sort of offense right now. Maybe it's going to come from a chilly shot. He does beat out one defender, but Peterburn, okay, he's not going for Johnny, as Peterburn was called off to be that next man, but he's not able to get that touch. And now we got to see that fast counterattack coming from EC4. Hadri will go up for it. He's going to put this on target. Good top down by Karsten. XYZ punches it through. 1, 2, 3, 4-1 is our scoreline.
I mean, this was a clean play, and I would like to have seen that type of clean play coming in from Infusion, but you saw that little moment of hesitation from Peterburn on the center play from Johnny Souza. He wanted to boost all the way up, but Peterburn, or not Peterburn, but in this case, Chile was already on the corner, ready to take it, and you saw the communication coming in a little bit too late, which didn't allow him to take the goal. Let's see if they can correct that in upcoming plays, at least.
On defense, though, we also saw similar breakdowns in defense. I mean, that entire play, XYZ was just driving straight down the middle, but everyone was too focused on trying to catch the waterfall down. Despite the fact that there were 3 cars in the box, any of them could have driven forward and tried to bump, tried to disrupt, because they were all there. Yet because they all were trying to play the same play, which was the waterfall down, all of them missed, it leads to an open goal. So very interesting, very unfortunately poor defense coming from this Infusion side.
Now it's Karsten going to roll the ball all the way up, and Johnny Souza is going to get the double 50-50 favorable to him. Nobody on his team is there to support him, though. Hadri tries to bounce it back, doesn't quite get the shot, and into the goal. Peterburn this time gets it clean.
Yeah, and this is one of the benefits that you might have as a team if you have a cold start. Sometimes your opponents might start to position themselves a little bit too aggressively. Karsten, kind of the victim of that right here. Everyone on EC4 was cheating forward when that touch was awkwardly made. Good job by Infusion, having the speed to step forward and punish it away. So still a 2-goal game, just over 2 minutes remaining. Still can go in either direction. However, this kickoff is looking very good for XYZ as he gets yet another goal in this one. That's going to be his hat trick +1.
It just feels like there are so many gaps in the defense of Infusion Gaming. There are so many angles that EC4 can explore, and they're exploring them all in game 1.
Yeah, that's very much been the case so far in this one. And I mean, XYZ as well, there's a reason why I singled him out. He has just been an absolute monster when on the attack. I feel like he's come at this goal from every angle and has found one. The only thing we really haven't seen from him yet is, I don't know, maybe like a flip reset or a double touch or something actually very stylish. Instead, he's just been that team player, just getting big bangers on goals. Hadri kind of misses right there, but that's okay. XYZ able to push on through, gets the first touch, but misses out on that second. Second man will push forward. That is Karsten.
Oh boy.
Getting challenged. Ball dropping in the box. Hadri this time is going to make connection with the ball, and we're looking at a 6-2 scoreline.
Exactly, and this comes down to the amount of space. Yet again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but it's just the amount of space that Infusion are giving away to EC4. They're just giving him the center field. They're giving him the side field. They're not challenging anybody. They're not trying to bump anyone. They're just trying to play defensive. And even when they have an offensive positioning, they're just allowing EC4 to do whatever they want. As soon as they get a touch on the ball, immediately Infusion go back on the defense, and they just give up on the offense completely.
Yeah, like the only time they've actually found success, it feels like, is when someone has sort of cheated through, or when someone's actually gotten that crazy solo play on the side of Infusion. Outside of those few moments, they haven't really been able to get any sort of sustained attack. They haven't been able to play strong defense. They double commit and miss a ball sitting in essentially the center of the field, not moving. Infusion is just completely breaking down the second they start to fall behind, and instead of getting better, it always seems like it gets worse and worse for them. And we're seeing that yet again. I don't mean to sound too harsh on this team. They always start off looking very even with their opponents, but it's just when things start to go bad, they get worse so quickly.
Exactly. It's like they can't they can't really find the momentum to really bounce back. And right now, not only their momentum is down, their fuel tanks are also down. They're not finding the rotations to get more boost, to find the boost on the field. So they're just running on fumes on defense, and this is one of the biggest sins a defending team can perform.
Yep, as you can see, again, they're a bit under the pump. However, looks like Peterburn is going to try and clear that ball through. He got a couple good touches, but Karsten just forces out the double commit. XYZ passing it back. Hadri, you got to make that shot, but that's okay. There's no one even near the goal for Infusion, so eventually Karsten will be able to knock it in.
I have to ask, where's the rest of the team? You had Peterburn, who went for a fuel run.
Themselves.
You had another guy who punted.
They double committed on the first shot. They double committed on the first shot and at an angle where they literally launched themselves to the other side of the pitch. They were still a solid couple seconds before they would be able to recover and make their way back. Like, that was just not a good defense at all, unfortunately. They're going for these very risky touches and just completely whipping it and putting, you know, the poor sole defender at such a disadvantage that in a 2v1, he's going to look foolish. Very disappointing start, unfortunately, for Infusion, but we need to throw more credit, I feel like, to this EC4 side. They were really great at baiting out the defense into making poor decisions and then always capitalizing on them, because that's the thing. You can make players miss, but then you still have to connect, and EC4 is super consistent with their shots.
Absolutely. I mean, they were really good. At the very least, EC4 were good at punishing the mistakes that Infusion were performing. I mean, credit is given where credit is due, and right now, EC4 are, as predicted, the superior team, at least in game one. Let's see in the upcoming games if there's any difference in Infusion Gaming's play style, but I really doubt that they can correct so many problems in a game's notice.
Yeah, you know what? It is Rocket League, though. Crazier things have happened. I've seen teams, you know, win games 1-6-1, win game 2 7-2, and then get reverse swept. Like, it can happen. So I'm not writing Infusion out just yet, but I need to see someone step up on this team. And to be quite honest, I'm looking at Peterburn. I know I've been a bit harsh on him in the past. I've been harsh on really everyone on Infusion in the past, but Peterburn, he has had those most sort of breakout moments. When they were trying to establish those solo plays, at times Peterburn, I felt like, had been the most consistent with them. Johnny as well is another player that he has that ability to actually go big. They just need to do it at the same time. They need to work together. They need to be on point. If they're not playing strong, not playing as a cohesive unit, they're going to struggle. And even with internet issues, Hadri on EC4 is still looking absolutely amazing. Really, all of EC4 looking so strong right now. So Infusion, they're going to have to rise, and they're going to have to rise right now.
Absolutely. So game number 2 right now is about to start. 5 minutes on the board to completely put that other game outside of the minds of Infusion Gaming, because this is a new world, and they've already nice shot to the goal, trying to open up very aggressively, but they need to go back on the defense. So Z gets a demo on Johnny Souza. He maintains the attack for EC4.
Something as well that I saw from XYZ on the setup for the counterattack right there was the commitment to the fake. And I think we're going to be seeing more of that from EC4 as this series progresses, just because of how gung-ho Infusion is on defense and taking bad commits. It's so easy for them to fake right now, force the defender out of the box, and just have the second player knock it in. So don't trust the attacking card, the first attacking card coming from this EC4 side. I think more times than not, they're going to be setting up plays. However, Chile going to do a little bit of a solo play on his own as he does get the first goal in this game.
This feels like this was basically EC4 completely out of it. They were not expecting a play. They aren't even thinking about this game right now, because the last game was so lax that they seem to have completely toned it down on the defensive side. Let's see if this initial goal opened up their eyes, or if they're going to maintain this type of attitude, because Infusion can absolutely capitalize on these mistakes.
I'm not going to call that lax defense as much as maybe too much trust on your teammate with known internet issues. They were expecting Hatchery to get a better touch on that one, and instead he kind of just dropped it right back into Chile's lap. Again, he's been having ping struggles. However, this goal, a lot less excusable right now, and all of a sudden Infusion, they're right back into life. Chile, again, the player stepping forward and making it happen. He gets the touch forward. Johnny Sosa able to follow it on through, and there were players in the box right there, but just sluggish reactions coming from EC4. I'm not used to this team playing this slowly.
It seems as if they're playing a man down. Yes, Tadri is playing on high ping, but you can say the same about Peterburn. His ping isn't exactly light. It is what it is, though, and now EC4 seem to be down 2 goals. They're starting to wake up. They're starting to be a little bit more aggressive than what they've been in this first minute and a half. But it seems like Infusion Gaming Esports, they're trying to ride that momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to try to fight back right now. It's Johnny Sosa looking to set himself up on through the corner. It's actually going to be a setup for Chile, but Carson a little bit faster. Good pass to Hadri, and now only Johnny is on defense. He doesn't get the touch he's looking for. Here comes the push forward, and that will be the goal. Carson able to make it 2-1.
All right, opening goal here for EC4. Interesting setup. Johnny Sosa couldn't really retain control of the ball. There was a very, very light and poor touch that didn't really set him up for anything. It just bounced the ball off his hood and couldn't really find the clear or find the pass. And this just allowed a nice, clean setup for EC4 to get their first goal of the game. They have Carson on the wall trying to set up another one. XYZ in the air just misses that. Touch by Hadri, sets it up for his teammates. Oh!
That's what I was saying before, though. Never trust the first shooter or the player you think is going to be the first shooter from EC4 because they're going to go for fakes to try and bait out the defense, and it worked perfectly right there. The follow-up bump as well from Hadri, just taking Chile out of the play, opening the door for Carson to get that goal. I like how EC4 is starting to implement what definitely seems to be the weakness of this Infusion side. So great equalizing goal, and it feels like EC4, they've kind of got that momentum right back.
So if they can ride that momentum now because it's tied at the half mark. Infusion still seem to be performing some more cohesive plays, or at least attempting to go for more cohesive plays as Hadri goes for the freestyle airborne rotation type swing and a miss, and Johnny Sosa comes in airborne and disrupts that play.
Yeah, how now XYZ is going to look to go for the pass play. Carson actually not wanting to go for it. He was more concerned perhaps with trying to get a bump onto Johnny Sosa. That was very interesting positioning, but now we're seeing the passes. Chile trying to slow it down up the wall. We raise Carson actually not able to beat the Pepper in that situation. Hadri now going to try and set himself up, but Peter Burns stealing it off of him. Pass to Johnny Sosa, challenge getting dunked on, and Carson gets yet another goal.
That was actually a very, very clean pass. Hadri bumps it off Peter Burn. Carson takes full advantage of his positioning, and Chile just short on defense.
I don't think he was expecting that dunk to be that fast and that accurate out of Carson. That was just a phenomenal individual play right there to get that steal away. And oh no, Chile cleaning up Johnny Sosa. Peter Burn will be the one trying to push forward. It's a 1v1. Carson gets the touch, but does get beaten at the end of it all. There are those individual plays I've been looking for in Infusion. Peter Burn getting it done.
And he gets it done by brute forcing it in a 50-50 against Carson. Again, it didn't feel like EC4 were ready for that counter attack. They were just waiting for Carson to really bounce.
That first touch, but Carson's able to catch it from underneath, gets a nice touch as well. Hadri actually the one trying to find that breakaway. Johnny Sosa doing what he can to slow the play down. Chile as well doesn't get the bang. That's two touches. XYZ looking to punish those two. Shot from Carson, angles a little bit too tough, so XYZ will recover, and it is a 4-3 lead in favor of EC3.
By the way, we didn't go quiet. We've always been talking. Apologies for the problems, but it's fixed, guys. It's fixed. We promise.
You know what I see? I'm a little offended that Twitch decided to stop listening to us for about 30 seconds.
I know.
They should be paying more attention.
Exactly.
XYZ clearing the ball through the middle. Good touch by Johnny Sosa, however, trying to mount that counterattack, but with 35 seconds remaining, things are looking very dire for Infusion.
Yep, they can't clear the ball. The ball is always on their side of the field, and the little times that they can't clear the ball, they've been precise with their counterattacks. But now 20 seconds left, 4-3. It seems like it's a good place for EC4 to be. However, XYZ was out of boost there. Now it's up to Hodges to try to defend this. Peter Burns trying to ride the ball into the goal. There goes Johnny Sosa. Does he get it? No, he doesn't. And Chile can't find the right touch as well.
That was the opening. They needed to be a bit more aggressive, slam that thing through, but Johnny Sosa must not have had the boost required. Now with 2 seconds remaining, this ball has to touch the ground. It will, and EC4, they move on to match point.
And they move on to match point in a second game that was very, very well contested. Infusion Gaming opened up really, really strong comparatively to game one. They were actually in the lead for a long, long time, but EC4, they tightened up their rotations. That start wasn't really a representation of what EC4 are capable of. They were really sluggish. They were really slow. You saw Hadji having a couple of ping issues, and Carson was AFK in the goal, but they came back 4-3. This is exactly what the kind of results EC4 are looking for. Maybe not this tight of a game, but it's still, a win's a win at the end of the day.
Yeah, a win is a win, and Karsten kind of was putting the team on his back this time around. XYZ did it in game one. Karsten did it in game two. Game three, do we get to see that, return of Hadri to form? Maybe his internet will magically fix itself, and all of a sudden we get to see that complete EC4 yet again. But I want to throw actually some praise Infusion's way. I was super harsh on them after game number one, and I almost apologize for being so, especially considering how they turned it around. A lot of it was through individual plays, which does seem to be that strength. I'm still not seeing that team cohesion, but a lot of these cheeky little steals, these cheeky intercepts leading into quick shots, at times caught EC4 off guard. And if they can continue to find these little gaps in the defensive rotations, maybe we can see them have another competitive game and maybe even take one off of EC4.
Absolutely. I mean, it feels like a long shot considering how EC4 have been managing their rotations, but it's still a possibility on the table. We've already had a 0-3 this today between the Lizard and the back of and bots, but that series was the score of the series is not representative of how the series actually went. In this case, if it's a 3-0, it is full credit to EC4 because they're being the dominant team, despite having a couple of issues here and there. But it is still possible for Infusion to take a game. I mean, Infusion were able to take a game against for the win. So if they can ride the momentum, if they have the right set of tools, they can absolutely steal a game away from EC4.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they are able to because I don't want any team to crash and burn. I want everyone to be competitive. 3-0s, yeah, okay, it's good time-wise. We maybe get an early night or early afternoon, but come on, this is a competitive league. We want to see these teams fight and crawl back, and we saw that from Infusion. The difference between game one and game two was absolutely astounding, and if they can continue to build on this, sort of destroy this narrative that they collapse under pressure, I will be the happiest person, despite being the largest component of said narrative thus far.
All right. Well, game number 3 is ready to go. Reminder, this is match point for EC4. Infusion still can have the chance to go for a reverse sweep, but it is looking very, very unlikely as both teams hit the pitch, and the first touch goes over to EC4.
Yeah, let's see if it happens. XYZ off of that kickoff puts a shot on target, but it's always the second man you gotta look out for as Hadri bangs it on through. It only took 6 seconds for EC4 to grab their lead.
And they're in with the vengeance. They didn't like that second game. It felt sluggish, it felt wrong, and EC4 wanted to correct that. They're going hyper aggressive, and they already opened up the scoreboard really, really early. Second kickoff. Let's see how it goes for Infusion Gaming Esports.
I really think they should change their name to EC2 right now, because it's always that second man that just seems to be breaking Infusion apart time and time again. Hadri, this time the first card doesn't get the touch, but he sets up Carson, who puts that shot on target. This time we see the save from Chili, but it's always that second car. I'm going to keep repeating it until things change right now. Good clear from Johnny Sosa. Only Karsten back on defense, but he is in a good spot to get the touch despite not having boost. He's going to need some help from his team. They have arrived, and Hadri passing it to Karsten does get that clear.
Okay, no control there from Peter Byrne. Lets the ball pass over to Chili. They rotate and get the defense rolling. Hadri bounces off the ceiling, tries to get some boost, but he doesn't have enough to make a play. Johnny Sosa's now on the wall, no boost whatsoever. He still manages to get it under Hadri, punches it into the goal, doesn't quite find enough damage. Oh my goodness, what is going on in that offensive line from Infusion?
It's just a small breakdown, but at the end of the day, though, they are on the blue side of the pitch. Johnny Sosa gonna go ahead and throw the ball towards the net. Where's the second man? He's so far back. Chili, you gotta be a bit faster to the ball than that, my friend. Hadri looking to set up his own team. At the end, though, it turns into a pass. That's an awkward touch, but Peter Byrne can recover. Looking to dribble straight down the middle, has a gap, but Carson cuts it off at the last possible second.
Just barely. Johnny Sosa's now airborne. Ooh, nice save from Johnny there. Can he rebound that save? No, it's off the crossbar, but a double touch from Carson makes it a clean 2-0.
That double touch was disgusting right there, reading the awkward clear attempt from Johnny Sosa and setting himself up perfectly. Karsten definitely has become the star, I feel, of this series with yet another spectacular goal.
3 minutes left. There's still a lot of games to be played in the match point for EC4, but Infusion need to step up their offensive style. I mean, they need to step up everything, really. Their defense needs to organize themselves better on the offense as well if they want to contest this series still. Bit of a fumble there. Karsten gets wrapped up with Chile, but XYZ, he has no problem taking that goal and taking that ball all the way to the box of Infusion.
Yes, we watch this one right now. XYZ reminding us, I'm supposed to be the star of this team. Has the pass just hand delivered to him right above that goal, and he just needs to tap that one in. And this is more the Infusion I was afraid of seeing, unfortunately, in this third game. The Infusion that has that tendency to fall apart. Now, Peterborough has been the one to drag him back into games, at times kicking and screaming. Maybe he'll be able to do so again. Maybe someone else will rise up, but right now, someone needs to be that X factor for this orange side. Otherwise, they are going to lose this series.
That was a good bounce there from Infusion. They get a demo, but Karsten coming in from behind after respawning sets it up perfectly for XYZ to come from the side and score another clean goal, 4-0. I was going to say this is what Infusion need. Infusion need the bumps, they need the demos, but they also need to get a game plan to what they do after they get the bumps and the demos.
Okay, so that was a great play. You know, you get the dunk pass to XYZ, he punches it in. Hadri was feeling that confident. He was even closer to the goal than XYZ was, and XYZ took that shot from in the box. That is the level of confidence that EC4 is playing with right now. They feel like they can do anywhere, be anything. I got those the wrong way around on purpose. Trust me. This is just looking so fantastic right now from EC4. Peterborough trying to find that goal back, trying to get some momentum back for his team. It says a pass for Johnny Sosa. The bumps from Peterborough come through, and we're looking at a 4-1 game.
The simplest plays are usually the better, and if you can't execute complex airborne plays, just go for a simple one-timer here through the midfield. I mean, all you have to do is clear the way, get EC4 out, get your third man to start bumping people out of position, and this is exactly what you need to come back into the game.
Yeah, it's so easy. Anyone can do it. You know what I mean? Just get two friends. You're bump man, you're setup man, you're shoot man. Let's go. No, that play was actually very difficult to pull off. I feel like so. Credit where credit is due for Infusion, but it does look as if their defense is cleaning up a bit as well. Yeah, there's a double commit, but they got to pinch Karsten though. Oh my gosh, that steal into the goal. He dunks it off of the upper corner of the wall. As you can see right here, Peterborough thought he had the ceiling shot. Karsten says, not today. Give us another point.
I don't feel like Karsten meant to get that on goal, and I don't feel like Infusion expected that to go on goal either, because they were on they were starting to set up a counter attack. Every player from Infusion was setting forward, and wow, this is a fast play. Okay, 6-1.
Yeah, watch XYZ off of this kickoff. He knew 100% where that ball was going to be. He was the fastest one there, the only player going for a cheat off that kickoff, and as a result, 140-kilometer-per-hour shot, one of the fastest we've seen in this tournament. We're one goal away from a Brazil scoreline, and there's still over 2 minutes left.
Yeah, that's you know, you can get ticketed for that amount of speed here in Portugal, man. It's a little bit, you get caught in speed radar, speed trap, you know what I mean? It's a little... Someone stop that man. Now, 6-1. I mean, the game's pretty one-sided. This third game is pretty one-sided. You saw a glimpse of You saw a glimpse of brilliance from Infusion in game 2, but that glimpse of brilliance just outshined. It outlived its shine, I guess. Because right now, it feels like we're back on the status quo of EC4 being the dominant team.
Viva la Brazil. 7-1 scoreline. We hit that milestone mark, and unfortunately, there's still, you know, nearly 2 minutes left in this game. I mean, this scoreline might get worse. We might even get double digits if, you know, EC4 continue to play at this pace right now. And you can see desperate bumps, desperate defense. Johnny Sosa, he gets an awkward touch, so Karsten will be able to push it on through. But yeah, this is completely fallen apart for Infusion, and it's a little disappointing to see. I can't say it's entirely unexpected, as Hadri does find that 8th goal, but hopefully Infusion can take this as a learning experience, come back next week with a clean slate, and start trying to find their first win in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, you get to a point when you're when you get so far behind, your mental just goes boom. When you know you're being outclassed by your opponents, when you know that you can't even come up with proper communications, you can't really start getting a play together, and you see every single play that you attempt to do get completely flopped by your opponents. I mean, it's hard. It takes a toll on your it takes a toll
Oh.
on your motivation for the game.
How is Carson just taking every single touch and putting them on target from anywhere on the pitch? The guy is playing like an absolute beast as he steals the ball away from Chile right there to get it to XYZ. I mean, if
Okay.
you're a fan of this EC4 team, you're loving this right now. This is just like a show reel of everything that they can do well on offense. I mean, I hope they're clipping these. I want to see that dubstep montage,
Here's the own
released
goal
throughout the week.
of the series.
Oh yeah,
by
and
the
of
way.
course you have to have our own goal as well. I mean, you got to knock that one in, because get tick for that. There we go, own goal of the series. One goal away from double digits as well right now for EC4.
Absolutely. I mean, nope, almost to double digits there, and I think
There it
XYZ
is.
is going to punt it in 10-1. The first time we get double digits here. There it is.
All right.
EC4
Okay.
achieve it.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually a really tricky goal as well. A nice setup off of the top ceiling, and XYZ able to catch it into the box and punch it on through. Infusion, man. I mean, look, The Simpsons? It's that stop, he's already dead meme happening right now. It's like Homer Simpson just like kills the Hamburglar thing from Krusty the Clown. Yeah, that's what's happening in this one. They're already dead. You can stop now. You've won. Point
no,
made.
but they're not done yet. They're trying to freestyle their way into goals now, and somehow it's still working. Adri goes on the defense. Maybe try to get I don't even know what they're trying to get. They're just they're just playing the game. It's already won. It's 15 seconds left. You can't score 9 goals, or can you? Can you score 9 goals in 10 seconds?
I don't think you can score 9 goals in 10
Averaging
seconds.
1 goal per second.
But what you can do is take that 10-point game and make it a 10-point lead as Hadri gets himself up a nice little double touch to just
1-1-1.
Yeah, 1-1-1. There we go. 1-1-1-1-1-1-1. Hadri gets it done. Does he have 1-1-1 ping? 1-1-1 ping? Oh, no.
No, he's got 1-2-4 ping. God, Hadri.
Well,
He's got enough ping to sell to his whole village. Okay.
that still will end this game. EC4 getting themselves a very, very comfortable win. And I mean, there's not much you can say besides look at the score at the end of that. One team dominated. The other one only put 3 shots on the board, and comparatively to, what was it, 12 plus 9? Quick math, that's 21. 21 to 3 shots, 7 times as many shots taken by EC4. 10 goals up on their opponents. You cannot ask for a better game than that.
You can ask for a little bit more competition. I mean, the game felt one-sided. Infusion mental went boom, as expected for when you're this behind. I honestly wanted to see Infusion steal a game just like they did against For the Win, but I guess it's just not. It was not meant to happen. This game was. It's self-explanatory. If you saw the game, you know what we're talking about. I mean,
well, I'm very curious how this is going to affect the standings right now when you take a look at the goal differentials between all the teams right now. I think EC4 may have just like skyrocketed themselves into first place despite having dropped a series previously
I want
to
to dare
Canyons, I believe.
say that EC4 scored as many goals as you have in total average per series.
Yeah.
In this
Yeah,
one,
in that third game alone.
Yeah. It's just 10-1, man. But hey, we have an interview with XYZ. He's ready to come into our room to tell us exactly how he feels about what just happened. Because I'm curious to know.
Yeah, so am I. Bring on XYZ.
Where's that man? Give us that man. There he is. All right, XYZ. So that was a game, right?
That was a game.
I don't even know. I don't even know what to ask you because that was.
I mean, I'll jump in then.
All right, go on.
So, Mr. Zed, after that 11-1 performance, I have to ask, what are the chances that we're going to see repeats of those score lines moving forward through the rest of this Iberian Cup?
I don't know. It was too many goals. I don't think it would happen again. For real.
Are you allowed to say that you scored too many goals? Is that really the correct mindset that you have? I feel like, you should be going, no, 11's not enough. We want 20 next time.
Yeah, because you raised the bar pretty high.
We were trying to score as much as we can to get a better score. But I think against the next teams we're going to play against, it's way more difficult to score this amount of goals.
I mean, yeah, no, absolutely. So You still have a lot of games to go through. I mean, you've had a pretty solid weekend, I would dare say. Yesterday you 3-0 GCC Bulls. Today you 3-0'd you 3-0'd Infusion. How
Hmm.
does it feel to beat up people in your own country, man?
I don't know. It's good.
It feels all right.
I mean, you have kind of become that Portuguese killer right now. I mean, between your past 3 series, you've only dropped 1 game to We Them Bots, 3-0s over those other countrymen teams. So, absolutely. In a sense, though, I feel like Portugal should be proud of your performances. I do remember some of your fellow countrymen were shouting you out yesterday.
Yeah.
But looking at other games and how they played out, in particular yesterday when For the Win actually beat Supermode, does
Yeah.
that have you kind of nervous when you face that team? Does that have you excited? Okay, one of the favorites actually dropped a game. That makes it more likely for us to get that top 4 finish. How does that result kind of make you and your team feel?
I don't know. We were not expecting at all, but we think it was better for us. Supermode losing that series. We're not afraid to play against for the win, anyways. We think we can win the game, so I think we are good.
All right. And one last question before we send you off. I just want to get a quick prediction from you then. Right now, our 2 undefeated teams are going to be playing at the very
Ooh.
end. For the win, they pulled off that upset
Yeah.
yesterday. Do they do it again against the Canyons today?
No, for real. I think it would be the same as always. In Canyons will win 3-0.
All right.
Well, that
Well,
hasn't been the case always. They've dropped a couple odd games
yes,
before,
they
so
have.
Yeah.
Hey, you stole a game from them. Your
yeah.
Yeah.
match was 3-1, so it can still happen. I'm looking forward to see that. Regardless, thank you so much for joining us, 6 I don't know if you want to ask anything else, Max.
Uh, I'm just saying that Canyons will win 3-0 because
Hmm.
For the Win is a good defensive team, but they are not that consistent on offense. And to
Yeah.
play against Canyons, you need to keep the pace with them and you need to score. It's not who's defending more, it's who's scoring more against Canyons, basically.
Ah. So, I mean, that makes me very excited perhaps when We Dem Bots gives them a game later on in this circuit. However, yeah, thank you very much, XYZ, for joining us. I'm gonna steal those notes, what you said right there. You might hear me repeating them later because I trust your opinion far more than I trust my own.
Well, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to cut it to a short break before you head into our third series of tonight between GGZ Bulls and Supermo. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you.